In the silence before dawn, the mind of a warrior sharpens like a blade upon the whetstone of purpose. True strength is not in muscle or weapon, but in intellect, a fire that burns unseen, shaping destiny through thought and precision. The ancients called it Shin no Chikara, the power of mind, a force so profound it bends the unseen currents of life. To become so smart that others fear your mind is not arrogance, it is mastery. It is the art of mental forging, where knowledge is tempered by discipline and wisdom is born through stillness. Every book read, every failure faced, every sleepless night of reflection, these are sparks that harden the steel within you. Like a samurai perfecting his sword, you must perfect your thinking. Cut through illusion and see truth with clarity unshaken by chaos. This path demands solitude, patience, and relentless curiosity. So, if you walk this road, comment, "I forge my mind," and subscribe to this brotherhood of modern warriors who sharpen their spirit through intellect. Thank you for standing among those who rise beyond ignorance. Discipline of thought is the foundation upon which all true intellect is built. It is the unseen forge where the mind is tempered, beaten, and refined into something unyielding. To discipline your thoughts is to master yourself, to become the commander of your inner army. Every emotion, every impulse, every wandering distraction must kneel before your will. The undisciplined mind drifts like a leaf upon the wind, enslaved by comfort and chaos, reacting instead of creating. But the disciplined mind stands like a mountain amidst a storm, unmoved, deliberate, precise. It learns to silence the noise of doubt, to focus its energy like a blade honed to perfection. This is not suppression but refinement, not rigidity but clarity. The ancient samurai called this state Fudoshin, the immovable mind, a calm center that remains steady regardless of turmoil. When your thoughts obey your intent, you no longer chase meaning, you manifest it. Discipline begins in small acts, the way you wake, the way you think, the way you respond when weakness whispers. To discipline thought is to refuse surrender to laziness, gossip, or negative imagination. It is the art of awareness, catching the instant when your mind drifts and bringing it back to focus without frustration. The swordsmith does not curse the steel for being unrefined. He hammers it until it obeys. In the same way, your thinking must be hammered by repetition, by mindfulness, by intention. Each moment of discipline adds another layer of strength to your mental armor. You begin to see patterns others overlook, to reason beyond emotion, and to anticipate outcomes before they unfold. In a world where minds are scattered by distraction, a focused thinker becomes dangerous. A strategist who sees 5 moves ahead, calm where others panic, sharp where others dull. True mental discipline is not cold intellect alone, it is spiritual order, a merging of clarity and purpose. It demands humility, for arrogance clouds reason and pride blinds vision. The disciplined thinker listens more than he speaks, for he understands that wisdom enters through silence. He studies the nature of thought itself, where it begins, how it deceives, how it can be harnessed. Through this mastery he transforms chaos into structure, noise into symphony. He no longer fears overthinking, because his thoughts no longer control him. They serve him. Like a samurai mastering zanshin, the awareness after action, he maintains readiness even in stillness. Every disciplined thought becomes a stroke of strategy, every moment of control a victory unseen. In time, this mental discipline becomes effortless, like breathing, a quiet power that radiates authority. Such a mind does not seek dominance. It inspires awe, because it moves with the weight of intention. To wield the discipline of thought is to hold a weapon sharper than any blade, one forged not in steel, but in silence, patience, and unbreakable will. Mastery through curiosity is the fire that keeps the mind alive, an endless hunger that refuses to be satisfied. It is the spirit of the seeker, the one who looks beyond the obvious and asks, why, when others accept. To master through curiosity is to live in a state of constant awakening, where every question becomes a doorway to deeper understanding. The samurai trained not just in combat but in philosophy, poetry and art, for they knew that wisdom is forged through many disciplines. Curiosity is not weakness. It is the courage to admit you do not know, and the determination to uncover truth no matter how deep it lies. It sharpens perception, humbles the ego, and transforms confusion into discovery. When guided by discipline, curiosity becomes a compass, not leading you astray but toward mastery. The mind that seeks never stagnates. It evolves, expands, and conquers limitation. Such curiosity is not childish wonder. It is the mature hunger of the warrior scholar who knows that the search itself is the path to greatness. Curiosity demands the death of fear, the fear of failure, of judgment, of being wrong. The curious mind is not shackled by pride. It learns, even from defeat, for it understands that every fall reveals a hidden lesson. To master through curiosity, one must observe the world not as a critic, but as a learner. Every person becomes a teacher, every challenge a question to be solved. This mindset transforms the ordinary into sacred opportunity. The samurai called this shoshin, the beginner's mind, a state of openness and humility that allows constant growth. The moment you believe you know enough, your blade begins to rust. Curiosity keeps that blade polished, not by chasing endless novelty, but by deepening understanding of what already is. It is in this digging, this relentless pursuit of knowledge, that mastery begins to form. Quiet, steady, unstoppable. Mastery through curiosity is a lifelong pilgrimage. It does not end when goals are reached. In fact, true mastery reveals how much more there is to learn. The curious warrior never grows complacent. He evolves beyond his own limits, transforming ignorance into insight and resistance into revelation. Curiosity teaches adaptability. The ability to shift, to learn, to see from different angles when others remain trapped in rigid thinking. It is a flame that lights the darkness of ignorance, a reminder that wisdom is not possessed, but pursued. In this pursuit, mistakes become allies and uncertainty becomes fuel. When you live with curiosity, your mind becomes a forge of innovation and your spirit becomes a river, flowing, changing, unstoppable. You begin to master not just skills, but life itself. This is the essence of Do the Way, the lifelong path of becoming sharper, wiser, and freer. Those who master through curiosity do not simply know more, they see more. Their vision cuts through illusion, guided by wonder, tempered by patience, and strengthened by the will to understand. Silence and observation are the twin eyes of wisdom, the unseen strength that separates the thinker from the reactionary. In silence, the mind clears its battlefield. In observation, it sharpens its aim. The samurai understood that noise clouds perception and haste dulls precision. They trained their spirits to listen beyond sound, to see what others missed. The twitch of a hand, the change of breath, the rhythm of movement. True power lies not in constant speaking, but in quiet awareness that absorbs, analyzes, and decides with clarity. Silence is not emptiness. It is concentration made visible. Observation is not mere watching. It is seeing with intent, reading the patterns of people, moments, and the self. The world reveals its secrets only to those patient enough to wait. To master silence and observation is to wield invisibility, unseen, yet always perceiving. In that stillness, every motion has meaning, and every detail becomes a lesson for those disciplined enough to notice. Silence is the forge where understanding is tempered. It teaches restraint, the art of holding your tongue until your words can strike with precision. In a world driven by noise, the one who listens commands the room without speaking. The samurai called this seijaku, tranquility amidst action, the calm within chaos that anchors perception. Through silence, the mind collects data, refines emotion, and transforms chaos into strategy. You begin to sense energy, mood, and motive in others before a single word is said. You learn that silence can disarm arrogance, that quiet confidence is more intimidating than loud pride. Observation, meanwhile, demands humility. To watch without judgment, to see truth instead of what ego wants to see. Together, they create an awareness so sharp it becomes weaponized perception. The ability to act at the exact moment when others are blind to opportunity. The warrior who masters silence and observation becomes untouchable, not because he hides but because he understands. He does not rush into reaction. He studies, adapts, and strikes only when victory is certain. His stillness confuses those addicted to noise. His patience outlasts those ruled by impulse. This mastery extends beyond battle. It governs speech, decision, and emotion. Observation makes him a student of human nature. Silence makes him a guardian of inner peace. Through these two forces, he rises above distraction, unbothered by chaos, unshaken by provocation. In the stillness of his mind, clarity reigns. He does not need to shout to be heard. His presence itself becomes a command. Such mastery cannot be faked. It is earned through discipline, humility, and awareness. Silence and observation are not just practices, they are states of being, where thought becomes vision and awareness becomes power. In this quiet strength, the mind transforms into a mirror, reflecting truth, unclouded, unstoppable. Strategic patience is the art of timing, the silent force that separates the wise from the reckless. It is not mere waiting, it is purposeful stillness, guided by awareness and intent. The samurai called this enryo, the virtue of restraint, the discipline to act only when the moment demands. Just as a master archer holds his breath before releasing the arrow, the disciplined mind learns that power without timing is wasted. Strategic patience means understanding that progress often hides in pause, and that the universe rewards those who endure the forge of waiting without losing focus. The impatient strike too soon and exhaust themselves. The patient observe, adapt, and strike once. With precision so exact it changes everything. To live with strategic patience is to embrace process over impulse, to move like water, slow, deliberate, yet unstoppable. Every challenge becomes a test of endurance, every delay an opportunity to strengthen resolve. The path of mastery is filled with moments where nothing seems to move, but in those still hours, unseen roots grow deep. Strategic patience teaches that the greatest transformations happen beneath the surface, where preparation meets unseen opportunity. The samurai trained for decades before drawing their swords in battle. They understood that speed without control is chaos, but patience with intent is dominance. This mindset demands faith. Faith in your preparation, your growth, and your purpose. The one who can wait while still working, who can stand firm without losing heart, becomes unstoppable. Strategic patience is not weakness, it is wisdom refined through time. It allows you to read situations, to anticipate outcomes, and to move with quiet certainty when others rush blindly. It transforms frustration into focus, delay into advantage. Patience is not passive, it is power held in reserve. The warrior who masters this knows that victory is not about constant motion, but about choosing the perfect moment to act. He studies the flow of events, feeling the rhythm of opportunity like a swordsman sensing the heartbeat before the strike. His calmness unnerves the impatient, his confidence disarms the chaotic. Strategic patience turns setbacks into strategy and obstacles into lessons. It teaches emotional control, the ability to stay grounded when the world demands reaction. When you move from impulse to intention, you cease to be controlled by time. Instead, you begin to command it. Like the cherry blossom that blooms only when the season is right, your moment of greatness will arrive if you have the strength to wait, prepare, and persist. Strategic patience is the art of holding fire without burning, of knowing that every delay is sharpening your edge for the moment destiny calls your name. Wisdom in action is the true measure of mastery. the bridge between knowledge and reality, between knowing and doing. It is where philosophy becomes power. The samurai understood that wisdom untested is illusion. It must live through disciplined action. This is the essence of Chitta Kodo, knowledge expressed through motion. To act with wisdom is to move not from impulse but from understanding. It means every decision is guided by clarity, every step by purpose. The wise warrior does not act to prove himself, but to fulfill what must be done. His choices are deliberate, his movements economical, his presence controlled. Wisdom in action is not the absence of emotion, but mastery over it. Using feeling as fuel, not as a chain, it transforms thought into movement, ideals into outcomes, dreams into strategy. When the mind and the body move as one, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Wisdom in action begins with awareness, knowing when to advance, when to retreat, and when to wait. It means understanding the balance between patience and boldness, between reflection and execution. The samurai called this harmony inyo, the unity of opposites. True wisdom does not paralyze you with overthinking. It sharpens your instinct through understanding. The foolish act quickly without vision, and the timid hesitate until opportunity fades. The wise act precisely, knowing that timing and intention shape all outcomes. Every task, no matter how small, becomes an expression of discipline. Every action reflects inner order. This is why the samurai practiced tea ceremonies with the same seriousness as sword training, for in both precision, presence, and purpose were sacred. To move with wisdom is to live artfully, turning every act into a form of meditation, every decision into a statement of awareness. When wisdom moves through action, it radiates calm power. The wise warrior does not need to announce his understanding. His deeds reveal it. He walks with quiet confidence, not because he knows everything, but because he knows enough to act with clarity. Wisdom in action is the antidote to chaos. It transforms thought into mastery, and hesitation into rhythm. In the modern world, it means living with intention, using time, energy, and focus like a sword, cutting away distraction to reveal purpose. Each step, each word, each choice carries weight because it springs from understanding, not reaction. This form of wisdom is not passive. It is dynamic, adaptable, alive. It allows you to flow like water and strike like lightning. Flexible, yet fierce. To embody wisdom in action is to live as the samurai lived, unshaken by noise, unmoved by doubt, and guided always by principle. It is not enough to know the way, you must walk it. Every day with precision, humility, and unwavering will. The unbreakable mind is the highest state of inner mastery, the mental fortress that no chaos can breach. It is the essence of Hagani no Kokoro, the heart of steel. This strength is not born from arrogance, but from endurance. Not from avoidance of pain, but from the decision to rise through it. The unbreakable mind is forged like a blade through fire, pressure, and relentless strikes. Each hardship becomes a hammer, shaping your spirit into something sharper, stronger, more unyielding. The weak see struggle as punishment. The strong see it as purification. Every trial refines your focus. Every wound teaches resilience. When life tests you, you do not crumble. You adapt. When fear whispers, you do not retreat. You breathe and move forward. The unbreakable mind does not seek comfort. It seeks truth. It does not react. It responds. Like a samurai facing death with calm eyes, it remains centered no matter the storm. The path to such strength is paved with self-confrontation. You must face the voices of doubt, the ghosts of failure, and the noise of fear, not to silence them, but to understand them. The samurai called this mushin, the state of no mind, where emotion no longer controls thought, and thought no longer clouds action. It is not emptiness, but perfect clarity. a state where nothing can disturb the stillness within. The unbreakable mind learns to observe pain without becoming it, to feel anger without being consumed, to face loss without surrendering purpose. In this state, life's chaos becomes a training ground, not an enemy. You begin to see every obstacle as an invitation to sharpen your spirit. The storms that once broke you now strengthen you, for your center no longer wavers. The world may strike, but it cannot fracture what has already accepted impermanence and turn pain into wisdom. To possess the unbreakable mind is to walk through life with unshakable composure. You become like tempered steel, flexible enough to bend but never to break. You no longer rely on motivation because discipline has taken its place. Fear becomes familiar, pressure becomes normal, and silence becomes your ally. The warrior with such a mind is calm in crisis, humble in victory, and resolute in defeat. He does not seek to dominate others, he conquers himself. This inner strength radiates outward, commanding respect without demand. It is the quiet confidence of one who has faced his darkness and emerged unscarred in spirit. In modern life, the unbreakable mind is your greatest weapon against distraction, self-doubt, and the weight of the world. It reminds you that every fall is a chance to rebuild stronger, that no force outside you can destroy what you have fortified within. When body tires and the world grows loud, it is this mind, calm, enduring, unyielding, that carries you through. To live with Hagane Kokoru is to become untouchable, not because life is easy, but because your spirit cannot be broken. In the end, the path to becoming so smart that people fear your mind is not a quest for dominance. It is a journey toward mastery of self. The mind is your sharpest blade, and every day is a forge. Through discipline of thought, you control chaos. Through mastery, through curiosity, you awaken limitless learning. Through silence and observation, you see what others overlook. Through strategic patience, you wait for your moment with purpose. Through wisdom in action, you move with precision. And through the unbreakable mind, you endure with unshakable strength. This is the way of the modern samurai, one who conquers not the world but his own mind. Remember, intelligence without discipline leads to arrogance, but intelligence forged through purpose becomes power. You are not here to impress others, you are here to evolve beyond them. So rise each day with focus, learn relentlessly, and let your mind become the weapon that shapes your destiny. Thank you, warrior, for walking this path, for standing among those who sharpen their spirit through thought. Now go forth with clarity, courage, and fire, and let the world witness the power of a mind forged in steel.